Hi there, I'm with you again. I'm your teacher. In this lesson, I'm going to make a communicative lesson. يعني درس communicative، درس يعني عن طريق المحادثة under the title of Learn English through reading. نتعلم الإنجليزية من خلال المطالعة. So we have rules to follow. عندنا قوانين نتبعوها. The rules that we are going to follow: first, we read. أول حاجة نطالع to get the pronunciation. بنهزو la pronunciation يعني طريقة النطق تاع الكلمات. Then we move to underline the keywords. تطلع الكلمات المفتاحية in order to get new vocabulary. بتهزو الكلمات الجديدة. Then we move to translate all the story in Arabic in order to read it more. And more, and follow my pronunciation, and I hope you like the video. Please share, subscribe, and we shall start today. First, the novel number 1 is named The Prince and the Pauper, الأمير والفقير. So this is the person. This is the prince, and this is the pauper. So we start first with reading. Follow me. Once upon a time in London, 2 boys were born on the same day. They looked very similar, but one was a prince and the other a pauper. Tom Canty grew up in one of the poorest neighborhoods in London. Tom's father, John Canty, was a beggar and a thief. He told Tom to go begging for money every day, and he hit him when he returned empty-handed. Father Andrew was Tom's only friend. He taught Tom morals and how to read and write. He also taught Tom many stories. One day, Tom was standing close to the palace gates, and he saw the prince, Edward Tudor, playing on the other side. Tom was surprised. The prince looked just like him. The prince saw Tom as a soldier tried to cast him out. The prince invited the pauper into his palace. "You look just like me," he shouted. Tom was interested in the prince's beautiful life, while Edward was jealous of the pauper's life of freedom. "Why do not we exchange clothes?" the prince suggested. Tom agreed, and soon both of them were in each other's clothes. Suddenly, the prince saw a bruise on Tom's hand. He ran out to yell at the guard who had hit Tom. Edward forgot that he was dressed as a pauper. The guard took the prince outside the palace gates, thinking that he was the pauper. The crowd outside laughed at Edward when he said that he was the prince. He was hit, and he walked around London, not knowing where to go. Then Tom's father found the prince and took him home, thinking he was Tom. Meanwhile, Tom enjoyed his new life as a prince, but in the palace people found his behavior strange. Soon word spread that the prince had gone crazy. The king ordered everyone not to speak about the princess's craziness. One day, the prince's friends arrived at a dinner at the Guildhall. Edward escaped from John Canty and came to the same place, but the crowd outside did not believe he was the prince. A man named Miles Hendon rescued the prince from the crowd. The king died suddenly, and Tom was trained to become the new king. Meanwhile, Hendon refused to give Edward back to Canty. Instead, he took Edward to his inn, where the prince made him a knight. Hendon thought the boy was mad. The next morning, Canty's friend kidnapped Edward and forced him to join a group of vagabonds. Edward discovered many evil laws of the land and promised to change them after becoming the king. Handon saved Edward from the vagabonds, but they captured the prince again. Edward refused to become a beggar and a thief, saying he was the king of England. Hugo, the leader of the vagabonds, tried to get Edward arrested. During a robbery, Handon rescued Edward and took him to Handon Hall. Handon and Edward were told they would be punished. Handon received Edward's punishment for him. The two were released and returned to London. At the crowning ceremony, Tom saw his mother, but he pretended not to know her. Later he was sad about his behavior. But just as Tom was about to become crowned, the real king stepped forward. "I am the king," Edward said. "Yes, he is the rightful king," Tom reported Edward. After some tests, everyone knew that it was true. Edward was crowned king, and he made Handon the Earl of Kent. Tom was made the king's ward. King Edward Tudor changed the evil laws of England and ruled wisely. This is the story. I hope you like the video. Please try to read to get the pronunciation, and I will see you for next lessons with next translations and next vocabulary. Goodbye. See you next time.